Welcome to my YouTube channel Wise Whispers, where silence speaks. My name is Emma, and I am 62 years old. I have lived a simple life, but the night my son told me I would embarrass him at his company's corporate party was the night everything changed between us. It started on a quiet Friday evening. My son Daniel stood in my small living room wearing a sharp black suit. He looked confident and successful, the kind of man people respect the moment he walks into a room. Seeing him like that filled my heart with pride. But the expression on his face told me something was wrong. "Mom," he said, adjusting his tie, "I need to talk to you about tonight." I smiled gently. "About the corporate party?" He sighed and looked away. "Yes, about that." I felt a strange tension in the air. "What is it?" I asked. Daniel hesitated before speaking again. "Mom, I think it's better if you stay home tonight." For a moment, I thought I had misunderstood him. "Stay home," I repeated. "It's just that the party is very formal," he explained. "There will be executives, investors, and important clients there." "I understand," I said calmly. "I can behave well." "That's not the issue," he replied quickly. Then he said something that broke my heart. "You'll embarrass me." The room suddenly felt very quiet. Embarrass him. I had spent my entire life raising Daniel. After his father died when Daniel was only 5 years old, it was just the two of us. I worked long hours cleaning offices and buildings so he could go to school, eat well, and have a better future. There were nights when I returned home so tired that I could barely walk. But every sacrifice felt worth it when I saw Daniel succeed. And now, the same son I had worked so hard for was ashamed of me. Still, I didn't argue. "If that's what you want," I said softly. Daniel looked relieved. "Thanks, Mom, I'll come see you tomorrow." He kissed my forehead and left. After the door closed, I sat quietly on the couch for a long time. Part of me wanted to respect his wishes, but another part of me felt something different. I had done nothing wrong. So after thinking for a while, I stood up and opened my wardrobe. I took out a simple navy blue dress I rarely wore and carefully ironed it. Looking at myself in the mirror, I saw a woman with grey strands in her hair and wrinkles from years of hard work. But I also saw strength. "My name is Emma," I whispered to myself, "and I have nothing to be ashamed of." So I picked up my purse and went to the party. The event was held in a beautiful hotel ballroom. When I entered, I saw elegant decorations, bright lights, and many well-dressed people talking and laughing. For a moment, I felt nervous. Maybe Daniel was right. Maybe I didn't belong there. But then I remembered something important. I belonged wherever my son was. As I walked further inside, I finally spotted Daniel across the room speaking with several co-workers. My heart filled with pride. I started walking toward him. But before I reached him, an older man across the room stared at me with surprise. "Emma," he said loudly. I turned and recognized him immediately. "Mr. Carter." He hurried over with a big smile. "Emma Harper, I haven't seen you in years." People nearby turned to look. Daniel noticed the attention and quickly came over. When he saw me standing there, his face turned pale. "Mom," he whispered nervously, "what are you doing here?" Before I could answer, Mr. Carter laughed. "Daniel, you never told us your mother was Emma Harper." Daniel looked confused. "You know my mom's?" Mr. Carter nodded. "Of course I do. Your mother once saved my company." Daniel stared in shock. "What?" Mr. Carter explained that many years ago, when I worked as a cleaner in his office building, I noticed a serious mistake in some financial documents on his desk. The error could have caused his company to lose millions of dollars. "I offered Emma a job in the company after that," Mr. Carter said proudly, "but she refused." Daniel turned to me. "Why?" I smiled gently. "Because the job required traveling for training. You were still young and I didn't want to leave you alone." The people around us fell silent. Mr. Carter looked at Daniel and said, "Your mother is one of the smartest and most honest people I've ever met. You should be very proud of her. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. Mom, I'm so sorry, he said quietly. I was ashamed of you tonight. I placed a hand on his shoulder. Success is wonderful, I told him, but we should never forget where we come from. Daniel hugged me tightly. From that moment on, whenever someone approached him, he proudly said the same words. This is my mother, Emma. And this time there was pride in his voice. Morals. Never be ashamed of humble beginnings, because the people who struggled for you are often the true reason for your success.